What's up, guys? I'm Jules. Thanks for coming back for another weekly update. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. It is April 17th today, so tomorrow is April 18th when you guys will see this, and what that means is it's 1 week till the NFL draft, which is couple of my favorite days of the year, absolutely. So I can't wait for that next week. So I also have a, uh, a a week I'm going to take off. I'm taking off like the first, second week. I think it's the second week of May. I've got some family. My mom's coming out. My uncle's coming out. They're going to be here for about a week, and they're both going to be staying here. So I don't think I'm going to have a video done that week. So I'll have that as a little vacation week. I did shoot a video last week. It came out on Saturday instead of Thursday. I just didn't have enough time to put together something that would actually be good, or be decent at least. It was such a busy week last week. There was so much to do for me that, I think it was Wednesday night by the time that I realized that I need to do the video, but I was so tired. I can't do it. It would have been a bad video. So anyway, but it's up. It's on the site, so you can just check out my videos if you missed that one. One of the things that if you guys only watch the first couple minutes of the video, or the first 5 minutes or so, just to see my progress, one of the things I've been doing lately is just throwing up pictures of stuff that is about ready to come out on the store, or has just come out on the store. I don't necessarily talk about it. I think today I will talk a little bit about what I have up, but anyway, so that's just, if you're like, once I start into like personal talk stuff, if you're thinking like there's no good cross stitch stuff left, there is. There's some cool stuff left. So kind of crazy this week. You would think that I would have gotten a couple of projects done, and yes, I was very close to getting a couple of projects done, but again, just couldn't quite finish them. I'm so close. I think combined it's like 340 stitches total, and I'll be done with both of the patterns. So I mean, little Froggy here only needs 70 more stitches, and he's going to be done. But he's come out really nice. Super excited. So looking forward to getting him in a frame, seeing what that looks like in the end. But yeah, he's come out really well. Good job, Froggy. It definitely looks like a photo, and that's really what it was. It was a photo of a frog. So, but yeah, just about done there. And then I have 270 stitches to go on the mini elephant. And that one's come along really nice. I just got the back legs basically to do, and then we'll be done. And when I'm done with this one, I do have plans. I was just looking over before I hopped on here. I still have to finish the Grumpy Gnome, which is more of a medium kind of pattern. And I've got some bigger ones that I'd like to get started on, but I like the idea of getting some completions done periodically, more frequently than usual. So one of the things that I was thinking about doing was just doing some more of the mini black and whites, and probably something like either let's see, what's the mini vintage baseball, and that one is only like 1900 stitches, so that'll be a much quicker stitch. And then I'm not sure which one I'm going to do of the rest. I think I might I could do the flat iron, the mini flat iron building. I could do the mini ghostly cellist. Man, the English language is hard sometimes, I gotta tell you. But so those, so I at least one little mini pattern that I can work on at a time, unless I decide to just pull out another color mini and go there. I don't know. You guys know how it goes. I still have Old World Map 2, which we'll get to in a second here. I've got to finish Rainy Waterloo. I had started on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and I'd really like to continue on that one. I had that one on my roller frame. I actually took it off because it has been more difficult for me to work on the roller frame, just because of the way I have to kind of position myself usually to get to it. But I don't know. I may figure out how to actually put it back on. I don't know. We'll see. You know me, guys. I switch things up all the time, so that's part of. I kind of have to. Otherwise, I just completely lose interest. Alrighty. All right. Old World Map 2. getting closer and closer. I'm gonna put this on its side, my little pattern keeper thing. So let me show you where I'm at. I did about 250 stitches on it this last week. I meant to do more, but what I decided to focus on was some of this confetti stitching back, you know, further back. I was really kind of in, well, I would say like in this section I had confetti stitching to do, about 50 stitches, and I got that done. And so after that, then I kind of moved into this, actually I moved into this area really doing, the next thing for confetti stitching is just finishing all through here. And there's really not, there's not that many. There's hardly, wait, which one did I do? Did I do that? Yeah, okay, I was. Got these little red things that help me kind of, the red piece there, red piece there. But I came over and I started working more in this area, but I've got a lot to do here. But yeah, I mean, look guys, I mean, look how close I am. Look how close I am. You can barely tell. I'm gonna actually, because that's lighter, let me zoom in. I think it actually looks almost worse on Pattern Keeper. If you can see how much I still have to do. I don't know how well it'll focus in it, but there's that. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stitching like that I thought I had done. But really, honestly, it's like if I just sit down and just do it, bam, it'll get done. So it'll get done, bam. I don't know what's going on with me. All right, so that's the current progress. I didn't do anything on Rainy Waterloo or the Grumpy Gnome this week. It was still just kind of residual from last week's, just really kind of being all run down. I was actually all run down the other day too, but yeah, before I just get into the patterns, I have got like a handful of patterns getting ready to come out. Some of the stuff I showed you last week and some that I didn't. Let me talk about those first. Let me jump into those first before I tell you where I'm at here. Where did I put my little note taker pad thing? See, that's my problem. Well, one of many problems is that I write stuff down, but then I lose the place where I'm at. Is this it? Aha, it is. Of course, I wrote notes, and then I took a piece of paper and I have my little notepad here, and then I wrote stuff down, and then for whatever reason took the piece from before and I covered it up. I don't know why I do these things sometimes. Let's see here. So one thing that should already be up because it's going to go up today. Daphne has it done. It's the palace entrance, and it's a big full coverage piece. And I've decided to put out a couple new large full coverage pieces. Just I haven't done that in a while, I don't think. And I just wanted something that's a little different out there, and for people who, you know, I just try to find things that I haven't seen around. Now that's not saying a whole lot because I don't get that around, and I don't get around very much. So I tend to, you know, there's probably stuff out there, I just haven't seen it. But Palace Entrance is kind of like, you could call it like a mansion entrance or like an atrium, or I have no idea what they're called. But anyway, it's a big piece, 330 by 260, and it's got 49 colors. So I left a lot of the coloration in because it just needed it. It just needed it to pop. You know, if like the bushes, the green bushes in the front weren't there, I could get rid of some of the greens that, you know, are only used in those bushes, but let's keep the bushes in, makes it look really good. So other new ones that will hopefully be up here, will be up here in the next week, certainly probably by the end of the weekend. Let's see here. Do I have anything that is, so I have a larger, well, it's not larger, it's like medium sized. It's called Baseball in America. And literally it's just like a baseball thrown into sort of like a picture of American flag, and it just, you know, just kind of blown it up a little bit, at least part of the flag. So so that one's, I don't have the measurements on that one just yet, but there's should be a picture up here to show you. But I really would like to do a mini version of this one, but we'll see how that turns out. I tried to make this one as small as I could without compromising too much of the detail. So there's that one. I'm like, I can't read my own handwriting. Black Panther. So Black Panther is a larger monochrome. It has a lot of stitches in it. I can't tell you exactly how many because I didn't write it down. But next week, if I can remember, it'll be up here. But it's a bigger piece. I mean, because it's Black Panther, so there's so much 310 slash black to make it up. You can't really shade that. And I've tried to make medium versions or smaller versions, and it doesn't really look that good. So I'm just going to leave this big old one up. I think it's something that I think the right person will come along and think it's awesome and have to get it and stitch it. It's going to be fantastic. So let's see. Next up, I should have wrote down how many stitches these were, but I have one called Playing Guitar, and this one that hopefully just popped up here is literally just sort of like a hand holding a chord or holding, trying to do some stuff on the fret part of a guitar. So it's monochrome, so you're only stitching the dark parts. But this one I really like. This one came out nice, and I could have made one that's much larger because I cut a fair bit out in order to make it reasonable in terms of stitching. So I think this falls more into the close, like medium or high medium kind of stitching. For those fans of the Haunted House monochrome, that is, ow, I have my legs locked up. Pull those down. For those of you guys who like the old vintage haunted house that I have, I do have a medium version of it now, and for whatever reason I decided to call it Medium Spooky House. Don't know why, but I did. And so anyway, so it's it took a fair bit of finagling because changing the size of it required a lot of little editing that I had to do. So this one took a while to get done, but it's out now. It's not out now. It's about to be out now. But much less stitching. So I want to say that it's under like 11,000 stitches. I know, but I don't know for sure how many. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't tell you this, or I didn't look at this before I did this video. But I already had somebody popped up on Etsy and asked me the question this week. Was like, hey, when are you going to do that medium version of a haunted house? And I was like, oh, fancy you should say that. I just finished the mock-up of it, so that'll be out real soon. It's gonna look good. I may have to do that one. And then the last one is just a mini peace sign. So I had the skeleton. I have a larger skeleton that has it, but I was like, maybe could I make this one into a smaller monochrome? And sure enough, it actually came out pretty decent. So so that's something that that'll be out real soon as well. So I have a mini Frenchie that I think he's all set. I just haven't sent him over yet, but he should be coming out sooner than later, and you'll probably see a picture up here of that. I don't think I have anything else. I've been working on trying to make smaller sizes of the different larger monochromes, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it really depends on subject matter and how dense the stitching is. So if it's really dense, if there's a lot of stitching, and sometimes it just doesn't work out when you're trying to shrink that down. You can't get the proportions right. It just doesn't work out. So yeah, so that was a lot. I did sometimes I can take a pattern or my source material, and I can actually make a pattern pop up in honestly like a day. Like I can get it done in a day. And most of the time what I end up doing is the multi-step process that I have is I'll start some and I'll move them along to a certain point, and then I'm like, oh, I want to go back and look for new stuff, and then I'll do that, and I'll end up with several patterns that are sort of stuck in the middle phase that just need to be finished so they can be sent along to Daphne. And this past week was one of those situations, and I sent over 6 patterns. Well, all the ones that I'm talking about, sent over all these 6 patterns. on, was it Sunday, I think? And so, but yeah, so I broke out of my bit of my slump that I was having, creatively, right? Yeah, creatively. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So so that's it in terms of the stitching stuff. It is it almost feels like a little bit of a lull right now, like late March into April. May starts up and people kind of get excited because of Stitch Mania, and but I don't really participate. I just don't have time. I don't have time to do something like that. I have joined a few new groups on Facebook, but I'm not great about jumping on Facebook all the time and going to look and see what people are stitching. But at some point I gotta just make that a routine and just do it. So getting on the Facebook and checking those stuff out because I gotta see what people are up to, what they're working on. So yeah, tired. So all right, so let me tell you where things are at with me. So I am week 9. I think I might have said last week was week 9 after surgery, but I think this week is actually week 9. When I actually counted it out, counted it out, and I was kind of surprised because I was saying that I was a week further ahead than actually I was, and I'm like, oh man, no wonder I'm hurting. But last week was tough because we really kind of ramped up the physical therapy sessions. Like they got harder, and work got more physical. We were getting busier, so I was doing more lifting and more walking, and then it just kind of, I said, it was hard to kind of get used to. And then this week it's done the same. And Monday, I think it was, I had physical therapy, but the way it worked out, I actually worked until like 1 o'clock and then drove over to the therapy place, changed clothes, and drove over and did therapy. And I was flat out exhausted. I was so tired after that. They actually took it a bit easy on me and made me do more stretching and balance exercises than strengthening. I'm like, I don't need a lot of strengthening from a, I mean, I do. I mean, obviously I need to, but I'm like, I'm getting plenty of work with everything I do. So, I don't know. But that meant yesterday I was flat out exhausted. My body was just rebelling. It was just like, it wouldn't let me do anything. Stiff and sore all day. And, what I really need to do is just get more sleep. But it's weird. Sometimes I don't know. My brain and my body is just different. Topher. Oh, Topher must be laying down. I'm hearing this like little sleepy whiny kind of snoring kind of thing going on, and I thought Topher was behind me. He's down there. So, yeah. So I was exhausted. I came home and I think I literally laid down on the floor, and I was hoping that I could work like till 1 or 2, and I left at lunch at 11 and came home. Like I said, I got McDonald's because when I really don't feel good, my routine is grab some McDonald's, get some nice fatty food, a lot of calories, eat it, and then I'll take a nap. But what I did before I took a nap was I actually stretched out and just got some really good stretching in, some self-massage on my legs and whatnot that weren't feeling good. And then I laid down on the flat out on the floor and took like about a 40-minute nap. And I needed to so bad. I was hurting. And then, but got a good night's sleep. Well, I got a decent night's sleep last night. And then woke up this morning and feel a lot better. I have therapy in about an hour. So I worked till 11. And then I'm going to go and run over and get my session done, and then pick up the hubs from work. We got to pick up some worms for Groot today. He's pretty much out of worms at this point. And yeah, and then be back home and see what's what. So yeah, I'll go from there. I'll get the video. Who's that? Somebody who's driving very slowly in front of the house. Very slowly. So Yeah, I actually have a bucket of water underneath my desk right now with ice and ice packs in it. I've been icing my feet for a couple of reasons. One is my feet have been really sore getting back into work and uh, and just kind of standing a lot. But I walk a lot too on everything. It's one of those things that what's the word? I need some insoles, but I monitor my steps, and a lot of times I'll set my phone down and I won't even pay attention to my steps. But was it Monday? I think Monday. The day that I was like I wore myself out. I did 7,000 steps before like noon, and like, well, no wonder I'm tired, silly, and a little bit much for me that day, but yeah. So I had a thought. The thought is gone. Oh, so I hope you guys saw Ronnie's interview with Needlebug's channel. Miss Karen over there. I showed up for the last. I completely, even though I was told it was gonna happen when it was gonna happen. And when I hopped on like an hour after it started, and I was like, there it is, and I jumped in. It was great to see those two guys talking to each other, and because they've both helped me out a lot in various ways. And I'm actually going to be on Needlebugs on a podcast or a live stream or something like that coming up later in May. So like a month or more from now. So closer to like Memorial Day weekend in and we'll probably do it on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I think that's what we've been talking about. So I'll be sure to let you guys know, because if you want to come and ask me any questions, that'll be a great time to ask. We'll probably be talking a lot about how I got into cross stitching, how I got into cross stitch design, and sort of just, it's a different path. Everybody has a different path, and it's kind of, I just throw something else out there, but I'm looking forward to it a lot, and it'll be one of those hopefully a very cool session. So I think my phone's running out of memory, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up before it just dies. You guys have a great rest of your week. I hope you're getting a lot of good stitching done, and if you're not, I hope you're doing good. So I will talk to you really soon. We're gonna have a lot more patterns coming out here over the next couple of weeks, and yeah, if you have any questions, just ask me down below. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.